Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed is a spiritual crossing of the threshold to the world of being a truly expanded human being. Join mediums Cheryl and Kelly for conversations about discovering deep spirituality, developing your intuitive and empathic skills, and personal mediumship. Each episode will focus on tips, tools, and techniques to help you understand and expand your own inner gifts of life journey. Now, your host of Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed, Kelly and Cheryl.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's program of Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. It's great to be here. Happy Wednesday for everyone out there. I want to say hi to my colleague, Miss Kelly Eckhart. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, Kelly. I'm good. It sounds like I might be having a slow internet connection, so I'm sorry if I am. I feel like everything's freezing up. Is that?
You are. It is a little bit slow there, Kelly. Your screen just froze. So, everyone, welcome. And we'll give you just a moment, Kelly. Yep.
Yeah.
What's that, Kelly?
I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll be back in 5 minutes. You go ahead and get started, Cheryl. I'm sorry.
I'll get started. Okay. That's okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. My colleague, Kelly Eckhart, she'll be stepping back in, having a little bit of technical difficulties. As you know, Mercury is out of retrograde, but so many changes happening in our world. If you're experiencing any little glitches along the way, it's just part of all the energy that's happening. No problem. Anytime Kelly and I may get on the phone sometime and there's so much energy happening that we have technical difficulties even then. And that's really what happens is you are energy, right? So you're an energy being. So, just be aware of that and be careful. And I'm sure she'll be right back on. Today's show, it's called Let's Manifest Miracles. So if you're new to our program, we'd love it if you could type in the comment section and say hello. Always send your questions to questions@seeingbeyond.com. So once again, it's great having you here. And Kelly and I do have a website. We'd love you to join our mailing list. Once again, that's seeingbeyondradio.com. Hello, Facebook user. Thanks for joining me today. So my name is Cheryl Murphy, and I'm with a colleague, Kelly Eckhart. She'll be coming right back on. So I believe she's having internet difficulty or something, but I wanted to welcome all of you to the show. We are going to share with you some tools and techniques on how to manifest, but we'd also like you to call into the show or send us your questions at questions@seeingbeyondradio.com. Let us know your miracle manifestations that have happened for you. And if you're having any problems or you're struggling learning how to manifest, I'd love it if you would, once again, share your questions with us through going to that email. Also, you're welcome to call in a little bit later in the program. We'll be sure and let you know when, and we'll take your call and we'll do some readings a little bit later. But I just want to start by saying welcome, everyone, and I hope you're having a great day today. It's been a beautiful weather out here in California. I hope it's warming up where you are in Florida and, the Carolinas. Our hearts and prayers go out to you. We know you have been through it with this last few days of that wonderful, amazing storm, Hurricane Ian, which was stronger than ever. Really, our hearts and once again, our compassion goes out to you today. So for you who are joining me on the call, and I'm so glad you're here, I'd love it if you would just sit with me for a moment and take 3 deep breaths, right? So I want you to begin by taking 3 deep breaths all the way down to the belly. And let's just slow down, take this time about manifesting for ourselves. So for this next hour, we'll be talking about manifesting, and maybe you just want to manifest patience and calm, good health. Go ahead and take those breaths and bring in that energy of manifesting, of love, of gratitude into your heart. Very, very good. So I'm loving having all of you here. And I love hearing all the emails that we get from our viewers on how much they love our show. They're so happy that we're back for a second season. So we're happy to be joining you today. So I do get asked a lot about manifesting, by the way, and I was teaching a class called The Art of Manifesting. So I'll have to bring that back out and teach that again. I know Kelly Eckhart teaches some classes on manifesting as well. One of the tools or techniques that I use to manifest is I work with the new moon. And for many of you that know me, I'm always encouraging you to write down your 10 new moon wishes. And we do that right around the new moon. So we just had a new moon at the end of September, and we'll have one again in a couple of weeks. I'm not sure of the date yet. But what you do is a day before, the day of, the day after, it's usually around that 3-day period. Write down your 10 wishes that you'd like to manifest for the month, for the year, but write down 10. And I want you to write them down on a very pretty piece of stationery, something that's very unique for you, because I do believe the intent, the ceremony, the ritual, the intention behind it is to manifest, right? So we do want to write down something beautiful, write down 10 wishes. I want you to fold that nicely, tuck that away in your desk or in a safe place. And then the next month, when the next month rolls around for the next new moon, go ahead and pull out that beautiful piece of stationery or that beautiful piece of paper. And I want you to check off all the things that you manifested for that month. Hey, Kelly, she's back. We have our colleague, Kelly. Hi.
Hello. Hopefully it sounds better.
Much better, much stronger.
Okay. Yay.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Kelly.
Sorry. And I heard you talk about patience. I was manifesting it just now.
I'm glad. That's how it works. Manifest patience. Absolutely. I was just getting everyone to take 3 deep breaths. And we were just talking about, I was telling everyone to write down their 10 new moon wishes. That's how I always talk. I talk about that in my healing prayer circles, Kelly. I talk about it because it works. It works. And even though I may not be able to manifest all 10 of my wishes, Kelly, I'll write them down again for the next new moon. But I do promise you, now I don't want to promise anyone, but I do manifest at least 3 things that I've written down. And it's just amazing to actually go back and see how energy works, law of attraction. I mean, it's just amazing. Just feel good about checking things off that you've manifested, whether it's better health, fitness, love in a relationship, financial gain, whether it's, wanting to write a book or maybe getting that new job. Maybe you're working on buying a new car, anything that, you can think to manifest that within the next 30 days, and you can think a little bit longer too. But since you get to do it every month, it's kind of like a new birthday every month. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
I love that idea. But also, it doesn't have to be a new moon. You could manifest any day of the month. You could do that thing any day of the month. Whenever I feel like I'm not getting where I need to go, or I feel stuck, I start to write down. For me, I like to manifest with a pros and a cons list. It kind of helps me identify what I'm looking for.
I like that.
And then once I figure out what it is that I really want, then I focus on those things. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm thinking about my goals, sometimes they're pretty big. I have to break them down into small groups and little steps, because and focus on one step at a time, not I focus on the whole thing, but I get overwhelmed sometimes. So I like to write my little pros and cons.
I love it that you dream big. Sometimes we don't dream big enough. We have to remind ourselves, right? Dream big. I mean, right? If that's what you really want, go for it. That's what they say.
Well, that's how we manifest. I know I'm always buying domain names, and I just am. I just think of a name. I'm like, oh, I'm buying that. And I remember an accountant asked me why do you have all these domain names? I have 40 of them. And I'm like, well, I'm a dreamer. You never know when that name is going to come in, and I'm going to be that's it. And I'm going to use that name. And then with my own domain name, I anticipated, people were spelling my name wrong, so I bought all of them. Kelley with an I, Kelley without the E, Kelley, and I have them all redirect to my website. So when people mess up, they come to me still.
They still come to you.
Yeah, I just think we can manifest anything in our life. Be realistic. We can't manifest $1 billion, right? I mean, sure you could, I guess, I suppose it'd be a lot of hard work though, right? But I think we can manifest most things in our life that we want, or try to create the life we want with our thoughts.
And I really, sometimes people, I mean, if no one's ever really thought about what we're talking about before, or no one's ever really thought, well, I've never manifested anything. It really is about, look, you can take small steps if you want, or, you can, like Kelley said, dream big. You can do both. And we really can, we can manifest with every thought, feeling, action, belief. I mean, we're manifestors. That's who we are, right? We're spiritual beings having this beautiful, joyful, manifesting experience on earth. And I do believe we can manifest peace too, right?
Yes.
We can manifest harmony on earth.
I like to be called the master manifester.
Ah,
I'm just kidding.
That's perfect. I gotta tell you, when Kelley, I know Kelley, and when she calls me from Vegas or Reno, and I'm telling you, Kelley, I don't know, you got luck by your side.
I'm pretty lucky when I gamble, and that's the honest truth. But I try not to take it for granted or go out there and just throw it all in, although I have thrown it all in. And I try to just go and enjoy myself and have a budget. And so my husband and I, when we go, we have our budget. And if we can come home with all of our money and some, we're so excited. And that happens at least 50% of the time. So I think that not just am I lucky, my husband is lucky. And so the two of us like to sit by each other when we gamble, because we feel like our energy kind of feeds off of each other, and we win more.
Yeah.
When we're separated, it's not the same. So I think because we're both kind of always thinking positive and get excited, and we're visualizing that win, I think that helps. We do. Not just with gambling, but I mean, it does work, but it works with everything in life.
Yeah, that's my question, Kelley, for you is, do you believe that people can really kind of block the manifesting from happening in their life? And what does that look like?
I've heard it. I was just talking to somebody this weekend saying, oh, I always attract stalkers. I mean, everybody I date turns into a stalker, and da da da. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you're saying that, you're manifesting it. So she's and she's like, but I just want a good guy in a healthy relationship. I said, then you need to start focusing on those thoughts. But you keep saying that's what you want, but you keep attracting stalkers, and you're always attracting stalkers. Well, it's going to keep happening if you're saying that out to the universe, right? So we have to really be careful of our thoughts and the words that we say, not just our thoughts, because our thoughts are powerful, but we can change our thoughts really quickly. The minute I have a negative thought, I'm in my mind going, nope, how can I reword that positively? It's taken me time, but I feel like my brain is so used to being rewired now that the minute anything negative, I'm flipping it around without even finishing the negative thought. So,
and even as you're saying about this woman you spoke to, it's almost as if we can reframe it or rewire it and say, well, I used to, back in the day, I used to, not be able to make a lot of money, but now moving forward, and bring that energy and that intention into the present moment, moving forward. But now it's easier than ever, or now, my energy is shifted, and I know it. I feel it every day, right? Kind of bring that uplifting energy into the manifesting, into the discussion.
It's really easy to get sucked into the negative, especially if you're surrounded by negative people. So it's really important to be aware of the negative thoughts, acknowledge them, but turn them around, right? Because it's human. We're going to have worries. We're going to have this or that. But then learn to rephrase things or reframe it in a new way so that you're gearing up towards the positive rather than the negative. Yeah. Like my husband said, we were Arizona, and I have my hurt knee. It's pretty messed up, my knee. It's been a while. We don't know what's going on with it. I got an MRI today. And he's like, "We can't go hiking." And I was like, "Yes, we will. I don't care. My knee is going to make it. It's going to hold me up, and I'm going to survive." And let me tell you, I was climbing those rocks. I was at Slide Rock, and I was climbing up and down them like it was nothing. And my knee made it through the day, and I had a blast. I paid for it later, but it was worth it, and it didn't swell up that bad. So I was happy.
Good.
I told it
And
it was
you
going to be good, and it was.
you elevated it with ice on it, I hope, afterwards.
Yeah, I did. Well, Slide Rock, the water is pretty much like ice. So the minute we got down there, I put it in the ice water, and that helped, I think.
Oh, that's great. Well, Kelley, let's take a moment and say hi to some of the people in the comments section that are letting us know that they're with us. Thanks, everyone, for being with us today.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Ariel. Hi, KB and Frank. Thank you for supporting us. And Sarah. Hello. And there's 2 people that say Facebook user. I think that's because you're in a group and we can't see the names in the group for privacy. So just know that we see you. So we have people from YouTube and from Facebook. So thank you guys for joining us.
So Kelley, let's ask each other a question here. Like, what does it take to begin to manifest? Like, if we were to advise someone, this is how you manifest, what's the first step? Like, should they write it down? Should they think about it? Should they have a clear idea of what they want to manifest, right? Or the feeling?
Well, I think that, I like to write things down, but you don't have to. I also like to just envision it. I often say things out loud, jokingly but serious, and they happen because I'm creating it. It's like the beginning of creating it. I'll tell people, like, in 2 years, I'm going to have this, this, and this, and just watch. You'll see, because that's what I'm going after. And it's just me putting it out to the universe, but also letting people know around me that support me and love me. And I think, but writing down's nice because then you can look back. Be like,
I love it. I love it.
Cross off the list of all the things you manifested, right? And that's exciting.
I had a client tell me, Cheryl, I want to be a writer one day, but I'm not really a writer yet, but I do journal every day. And I'm like, no, you are a writer. You are a writer. You want to step into the energy of being a writer and call yourself, I am a writer, right? You want to step into that energy of owning that, of declaring that or claiming that.
And you're putting it out to the universe, right? So you've got guides, you've got angels, you've got your loved ones in spirit. Everybody kind of chimes in and helps you just a little bit, And so remember that, like, it's not just, we're not alone. We're all part of this, I believe. We're all part of this universal energy and the source, right? And so when we're manifesting, that source kicks in because it's like excited for us and it wants to help us. And so I think that, if it's in our best interest and if we're manifesting things that are healthy for us, that are good for us, that are good for, you know what I mean? I think that that's how it works, right? But you have to be, again, very mindful of your thoughts, because they're important. You can say things out loud, but your thoughts can be the total opposite.
Kelley and I were definitely, you and I are in agreement that, writing it down is, for me, how I look at it is it's bringing it into the physical form, right? We're taking an idea, a dream that is in our imagination or in the invisible, so to speak, and you're putting pen to paper and you're writing down that dream or that wish, that what you want to achieve and manifest. And by putting it in physical form, you've actually created you're manifesting, you're bringing it into this fourth dimension, fifth dimension reality, what have you, but you're bringing it into the physical matter and you've already done it. So now it's just bringing it closer and closer into your radar or in your wheelhouse, so to speak, in your orbit.
I think it's important, though, to remind people that you have to be patient. and know that it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen.
Oh my gosh.
It's not like you're standing at the door going, open, 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 right? Like in the commercial, because you have to really kind of like, you are manifesting it, but then you have to keep moving on and moving forward. You can't be like, it hasn't happened. Nothing's happening. I'm not manifesting, because that's not how it works, right? That's the first thing.
Right.
You have to be patient. The other thing is that you have to allow things to happen and be open to those opportunities, because you can manifest something and it starts to come, but then you're closed to it out of fear of change, fear of growth, the uncomfortableness of moving into that new direction. Sometimes it's scary for people. So you have to be open and patient and know that it's happening and accept it.
There are so many people. Sarah is typing in, absolutely in agreement. I think that you have to feel what the intent is. That's what Sarah said. Positive thoughts, absolutely. Frank says that's a great question. They love today's topic, Kelly. So I'm just so glad we're bringing this to them today. I do want to share a story because Kelly, you're talking about having patience around what you want to manifest. And I went to India, in 2019, right? With our good friend, Allison Gannon, right? And Kelly's been to India as well. But when I went to India, I actually manifested it, but I manifested India a long time ago. There was a beautiful glossy advertisement in the National Geographic magazine. It was like, go to India. It was from some travel company, and it was a black and white, beautiful, landscape picture of the Taj Mahal, right? And National Geographic, they take beautiful photography. So I put it on my vision board. I cut out the photo.
Thank you,
put it on
vision
my
board.
vision board.
Yes.
And I still have my vision board. But then the opportunity, like you said, be open to the opportunity. Allison asked me, hey, Cheryl, do you want to go? She just got an email from Wildlife SOS about raising money for the animals, the elephants and the tigers in India. And what a better way to go to India, right? Is to go with a nonprofit animal fundraising company that takes care of all the endangered animals. And Wildlife SOS, just to tell you how much, give them a plug because we love them so much. But what an opportunity, Kelly. I went to India. I went to the Taj Mahal. I went with a good friend of ours, and it was better than I had imagined. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing.
That is amazing. And I love that. I also manifested India. And I'll tell you, I have a very interesting story. And don't be sad, because it is about grief, but it also is a beautiful thing. So my son passed in 2016, and I was supposed to go on this cruise to with James Van Prague to want something on my bucket list, but Greece, right? The 7-day cruise to Greece with James Van Prague and a bunch of group of people. And I had started paying for it, and I canceled it because my son's passing. I was like, I don't want to travel. But then a trip to India came up, but I just couldn't go at the time. It was like a year later. It was in November of 2017. So a year and a half after my son passed. I didn't think I could go. So I just kind of put it aside, but I really wanted to go. And I kept thinking, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. And honestly, we were just broke because everybody had died, and we just kind of like shut down, sold our businesses, and we were like kind of taking it easy. So we didn't have all the money we normally have, and we were like living frugally, right? And then a year after my son passed, my husband's work found out that he had passed. They didn't know because his boss didn't tell anybody. And that when they heard, they were like, well, you have a life insurance plan. And I was like, oh, so we filled out the paperwork, and they said, oh, he was 20. It stopped at age 19. We're so sorry. So I was like, okay, well, we weren't expecting it anyways. We paid for everything on our own, whatever. And it was only $10,000. But whatever. Mother's Day, my son passed Mother's Day weekend. Mother's Day weekend, a year later, I got a check for $10,000 on the Saturday. 1 year.
Oh, Kelly, I just got.
Right.
I just got.
And I was like, they felt so bad that they changed the age to 26 for the life insurance, and they backdated it for my son's passing and sent us anyways. So my husband's like, well, I guess you're going to India. And I went to India in November that year. So and there was,
we just,
and here's the other story. She was sold out for India, but one person had dropped out, and I got the ticket.
oh, Kelley, I mean,
Manifesting, I was like, if it's meant to be, it will happen. And I let it go. And I just knew, like, it'll happen if it's meant to be. And the opportunity came and I took it. So,
and I love it, Kelley. I mean, I just get chills around your story, and that truly is a miracle, you know, manifesting a miracle there, you know, and for it to
yeah,
happen,
I
you
think
get the
my
check.
son helped out.
What's that?
I think my
He,
son helped out from spirit, you know.
of
Like I said,
course.
you remember spirit does their thing. I don't know how they do it, but they put the will into people to make things happen, right? Yeah.
Your son has your back, Kelley.
Yes, he does. Oh my
That's
God.
beautiful. Kit just wrote in a story. Would you like to read it out loud, or shall I
Yeah,
read
here,
it?
I'll
Yeah,
put it
thank
up
you.
here. Why don't you read it? Go ahead,
Okay.
Cheryl.
So Kit Bennett is sharing a story with us, everyone. Kit says, I have an interesting story. 6 months ago, I was wondering what it must feel like, what a broken bone feels like. Then, 3 months later, I break 3 bones. My foot detached from my body. I have an expected recovery of 1 to 2 years. From now on, I will ponder what it feels like to have perfect pain free health for the rest of my life. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you, Kit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now you want to
I have
manifest
done this.
perfect pain free
Yes,
health.
I have done this. This is why I say our words are powerful. When my eldest son
They
who passed,
are.
when he was a teenager, he was in it just he was going through a lot of, like, he was got into drugs, he was getting in trouble, and I kept saying, "He just needs to get arrested." He's, like, 14, you know? It's like, he
Mhm.
just needs to get arrested because he needs to get scared, and then it'll force him into a program, like, you know, it'll help me get, like, I thought, right? So I'm manifesting my son getting arrested at 14 because he's not old enough to have any kind of a record, I thought. So lo and behold, 6 months later, he got arrested, or 7, like a year later. He did get arrested, and it was like the worst thing ever. They were trying to give him juvenile life, and I was like, "Oh my God, I manifested. This is not what I meant. I meant so he could get like a diversion program or something where, like, the police
Oh,
helped force him into getting better." But anyways, I did manifest that. I did, and I felt bad.
yeah.
But in the long run, it did help him. He did get, sober. Eventually, he
Yeah.
was very pig-headed.
Yeah.
It
Got
took
it.
4 years, but he did.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Kelley, that we have to, and with Kit too. What an amazing story, Kit. We really send you so much love and healing, and I know everyone on the call is a light worker. So, Kit, I mean,
Yeah,
if you're ready, if you want to receive, we can just send you love during this call. And
for a
I know Kelley and I are wearing pink and red. Right now we're celebrating. I believe this October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, we just want to celebrate everyone and know that life is precious, right? So, gosh, yes, take it. Kit
oh,
says, hell yeah.
yeah,
Oh, he'll take it, or hell yeah. Hell
I guess I'll
yes. Okay.
take it. Love the
We
answer. Yeah, everybody send her healing, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, send this loved one her healing. And yes, Ariel is saying, I do vision boards before my photography sessions. Yes. Oh, I love it. I do vision boards before my photography sessions. That is great.
I
I
have never been big on vision boards because I don't know why, but in 2020, there was a lot of time on our hands, and I made a vision board, and I had so much fun because I'm an artsy craftsy kind of person. So if you
Uh-huh.
are artsy craftsy, don't poo-poo the vision boards. I actually did that for a long time, and I had so much fun, and I feel like I manifested so many things on my board. And I
It's
also
great.
think it kinda represented my brain, which is a little chaos, but it was fun.
And just to take it one step further, when you're creating a vision board, right? So if for people who have never created a vision board, I get a poster board and I look through all these wonderful magazines and I cut out all the beautiful pictures of what I want to manifest. If it's love, I cut a picture of a loving couple. If it's an automobile I want to buy, I cut that out. Or even if it's a word that says manifest or abundance, I mean, I also put words on my vision board. But I started doing this, and I don't know if you do this, Kelley, or anyone else, but I started kind of doing a feng shui vision board where I would put like if I wanted to manifest romance, I put it in the top right column, which is in feng shui, the bagua, that would be romance corner. So I would, put family and friends, over to the left side, or if my career, I would put right down in front of me, because that's where it is when you enter your home in the feng shui energy of good chi. So yeah, you kind of do a vision board thinking about feng shui. I know. And just Kelley, I don't know if you know this, but I manifested this podcast. And
Me too.
I'll say I manifested doing a podcast, and then I'll tell everyone how it worked out better than ever is because I got to do it with you. That's how it got.
Same here.
Yes,
I have been manifesting this.
Kelley invited me to do a podcast, and I got to tell you, this was you stepping into it, Kelley. I wanted to manifest one. You invited me on your platform, and I am so grateful.
Well, I am grateful you came to do this with me, because it's no fun by yourself. It's always fun with somebody else, especially a like-minded person. So thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Oh, I was saying, Brianna just said she manifested her house in the country, and I've been there. That's where Brianna works for me. She's also my niece. I think she's the oldest niece in the family, and it's a beautiful house in the country, and she loves it. And she has a lot of acreage, and it's just gorgeous. So she did manifest that. I'll tell you what, because she was talking about it. She wanted it bad. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's just I'd love that. And really, we forget to manifest, don't we? We forget that we're co-creators in the universe, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Ariel.
Because she loves me.
Thank you, Ariel. Y'all are amazing, and I love tuning into these. Thank you. And look, we need to remember and remind each other, look, what are you manifesting? Even your day, when you wake up in the morning, you can design your day, or you can put it out there. I'm going to have an amazing day today. Today is a great day to have an amazing day, right? Today is a wonderful day. It's the present moment.
Affirmation, but affirmations help us manifest.
And affirmations help us manifest.
I think I have, when you sign up for my newsletter, you'll get my article is How to Manifest Anything, I think, with affirmations, it's called.
Yeah. Really? Oh, good.
I think I was born to manifest, Cheryl. I just think I was.
Were you?
I think we all
manifesting master. Yeah. So far, let's just kind of recoup what we've talked about on how to manifest. We both decided, we both agree, we both do this. We both write down what we want to manifest. So writing down is a good tool. It's a good tool. If you haven't tried it at home, please try writing down manifesting. I'm suggesting the 10 new moon wishes. But Kelley, do you write down one at a time? Do you make a page of what you like to write down and manifest? Do you write it?
It just depends. I like to focus on like one kind of project at a time, but if I have a lot of things that I'm trying to accomplish, like I usually do a big list in January for the year. I've done that since as long as I can remember, going back to probably kindergarten. I've always done that.
You're inspiring me to write down a list in January or for the new year.
I've always done that. Like, I couldn't write, of course, very well in kindergarten. So a lot of it was in my mind. I didn't sleep New Year's Eve as a child. I sat up the whole night envisioning my entire year ahead. I had to have my horoscope to see what was, when was the best time to manifest each little scenario. Because in January, back in the 70s, you had this little quarter you put in the machine, and you'd get the yearly, you could get monthly, but just before January, like at the end of December, you could get the one for the whole year, right? Just like a preview of what was happening in the future year. And then I would take that and I would be like, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And I always did it. So, and I've been doing it.
I love it. And then let me ask you, do you, so look, you're giving me great ideas here. I just want to tell everyone, we should have like we need to talk about this again in January, because that's when you write down your list. So we're going to talk about, so everyone that's listening, make sure you write your list down for January. Kelley and I will bring this up again to remind you in January if you haven't, but we should all do that together. What if we all did it together, right? We could kind of send each other some love. We could bring our list to the show and just kind of,
Maybe we
or
can
know
make
that.
well, maybe we can make it a little mini workshop outside the show.
Yeah.
And it could
Oh,
be a
that
lot
would
of
be
fun
wonderful.
or
That'd be
something. Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Also, when I have it, when you want to manifest something, Kelly, and you write it down, do you put it somewhere where you can see it, or do you fold it in a piece? Do you fold it and tuck it in a desk? Do you put it somewhere where you see it every day?
I don't want to obsess over it.
Okay, you don't want to obsess over it.
Because I know it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. I know I've put it out there. It's always on the back of my mind. I just allow it to happen the way it's supposed to, and I trust.
I love it. I love it that you have to let it go, right? We have to almost release it and let divine guidance.
You're not going to focus on it. It's an obsession, right? And you can't.
So writing it. Right. And another way we talked about was the vision board. So creating a vision board. Or you can create vision boards on your computer now, I think, or they have an app on how to create a vision board. And then the third one, it's so funny. And then the third one was writing down affirmations.
Affirmations, I think, are really important. I think we all should, we should be teaching children affirmations. We should be using them in schools. I feel like, we don't have enough positive thinking in our society. And people are now talking about toxic positivity. That's really frustrating to me because I feel like there is no toxic positivity in the sense of you can be as positive as you need to be for you. I think that frustrates me when I hear that, because I know what they're saying, but it's not really toxic positivity. It's really somebody discounting your pain or things like that. That's not necessarily positivity. That's different, So I always like to always keep my thoughts positive. When somebody's injured or hurt, the first thing on my mind is I'm already sending them healing to have the best possible, healing and time frame and the least amount of pain. Those are things I feel like those are positive thoughts for that situation, right?
Beautiful to imagine and see them healthy and vibrant and having freedom and smiling and enjoying life. That's where how you can help them manifest that.
Yes.
So Kit, we're helping you manifest Kit, who's with us on the call, we are sending you healing, and we are imagining that you are and visualizing that you are healthy and walking and jumping and free of pain and doing all the things that you want to do.
Cheryl, the people really underestimate how powerful our thoughts are, but powerful thoughts in a group as well. I went to what is it on the East Coast, that Omega, and I took a course with Tony Stockwell, and it was a trans healing course, and it was a week-long course or 5 days, and I broke my foot on the trails there. My ankle twisted. It wasn't my ankle. I actually broke my foot. I couldn't walk, and my cabin was at the top of this big hill, and class was at the bottom of the big hill. So they would come and pick me up in the little golf cart, and they gave me crutches. I could have left and gone to the doctor, but I didn't want to miss the course. So I'm in this amazing group of mediums and healers, and some of them, I think Lauren Rainbow, Medium Floor was there. What's his name on the Coast? John Holland. And they put me in a group with John and Lauren and a bunch of other amazing healers. They split us into groups. It was a big class, and we were all sending healing in a circle. And they put me in the middle of the circle. It was one of the exercises. And this was the second day after I broke it. Mind you, I didn't know I broke it. I just knew it was pretty messed up. They put me in there, and I was able to walk the whole week. I didn't have any problems with it. I went home and went to the doctor because it was still swollen. That's when I found out I had a broken bone, 2 broken bones on the top of my foot.
Oh my goodness.
But that healing got me through it, and it healed on its own. I didn't need a cast. We opted out of the cast because they wanted to re-break it and set it, but they said I don't know. They're it's doing good. Let's put a boot on your foot and let's just see what happens. And it took 6 months to heal on its own, but I didn't need a cast. I didn't need to have it re-broke. So I always attribute it to that healing that they did during that class, because I was oh my God, I'm walking on it. And I felt the energy. It was somebody was shocking me with shockwaves, but in a healthy way, And I felt healing. It's not Reiki, it was trance healing. So there's a little bit different where you're more channeling and going into a trance and channeling, well, whatever I guess you believe in, but I believe they were channeling these healing angels, like, Mother Mary and things like that. It just depends on what you resonate with and who you're connecting to. So I don't know who each of them were connecting to, but I felt, because there was about 12 people in my group, I felt some amazing energy in this circle, and it was swaying me. It was so strong. Like I couldn't sit still. I felt like I was being pulled because they were sending it a circle to swirl so that in the middle it's like this. It was pretty amazing. I love Tony Stockwell, but that was amazing.
Yeah, that is so amazing.
It was powerful. And I said to myself, well, it's not broken. I'm healed. That was the plan. It was broken, but I was on my way to healing. Okay. I envisioned it healed, and it did.
I love it. Good. That's awesome. Can we put up Ariel's story? Can we, Ariel said something about, Ariel says, I manifested being a plant mom, and now we live in a jungle. Ha, 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 ha. Just kidding. But honestly, I manifested positive friendships and letting go of toxicity, and it happened.
It does.
So you manifested plants, you manifested friendships, positive friendships, and letting go of toxicity. So it's three things. And go ahead.
Oh, well, plants can be your friends too.
Oh, yes. Well, I thought that's what she meant when I was reading it. But yes, plants are definitely your friends. And we hope, Ariel, that you named your plants too, or you talked to them, because they do respond, their energy, and the energy of nature and animals is very, very high. Really, it's very high. So I always tell people, if you want to see God, go out and look in nature, because it's the highest, it's the most visible energy we have of the divine source.
It's amazing.
Yes, very cool. Yes, yeah, she does, and they don't talk back. She does talk to her plants, and they don't talk back. Oh my gosh,
awesome.
That's funny.
Did you know, talking to your plants, on another little side note, it actually is good for them, and they do better. You remember at my crystal store how I had the plant wall room?
Yes.
And they weren't doing so great because I'm not very good with plants. I'm not like a green thumb like my mother and my sister, but I was doing my best. So one of the guys that worked for us, he's like, "Here, Kelly, I'll take over the wall. They just need someone to hang out with and talk to." So he would go and water them, and he would talk to them, and he'd play them music. Let me tell you, the plants like doubled in size and started doing better. So I think that's beautiful. That just reminded me of that. You can
They are, and they're very therapeutic, and it's wonderful. And so if I can just kind of also add to manifesting, that we can manifest cars, or trips to India, or jobs, but also, as Ariel mentioned, as Kelly mentioned, as Kit mentioned, we can also manifest healing. You can manifest just bringing more peace in your life and calm. Maybe we have a lot of people who are anxious, right? A lot of people are anxious maybe in the world right now, and you can manifest being more calm. You can manifest releasing, as Ariel said, anything that no longer serves you, whether it's an old thought, an old belief system. Just let that go. Maybe it's like you said, maybe it's just someone that's draining your energy. I mean, you can release that too. So manifesting can be about better health, better vibrancy, more fitness, or more intuition. Maybe you want to use affirmations to develop, increase your intuition with that I am statement. I am intuitive. I am healthy. I am grounded. I am balanced, right? I am calm.
Yes, it works. Yeah, I like that a lot. As somebody who struggled with, I think, self-esteem all my life, because just the way I grew up, right? And just growing up, I grew up in a very, I want to say, negative environment. It's taken me a long time to overcome those negative thoughts about myself. And I still struggle with those now. I'm not perfect. But the minute I have those thoughts of telling myself this or that, I just turn it around and tell myself something positive instead. Like I recreate it, and I'm rewiring it. And I think it helps.
I love it.
Because I don't
feel
maybe secure anymore,
And look, you're making the perfect point, Kelly, is that, maybe we did that as children or growing up or when we didn't know any better. I mean, everyone's always doing the best they can. But now that we have learned and experienced it firsthand, about manifesting and the power of words, I mean, we really are, lifting our consciousness and our frequency to step into the possibilities.
Yes. Yes. Well, look, Cheryl, don't you have to leave really early today? Like what, in 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
I have about 5 more minutes, and then I have to scoot out of here to go on to my next venue. But yes, I have to leave in just about 5 minutes. So would you like to take a call, Kelly, or would you like to ask people a question?
I was going to have Brianna or somebody post the link and tell people if they want readings. When Cheryl has to leave, I'm going to start bringing people up for readings and do a few readings before we end. And we'll probably end a little bit early because I am going to be doing my free talk tonight on Zoom at 6 o'clock. So if you wanted a chance for more readings, I'll be doing a few then too. And that's on Zoom, and I could provide you guys the link, or Brianna can post that in there for you. Yeah.
Yes, post that link.
Because I'll be doing
everyone
that.
would love that.
So I will take a little break between this and that. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to sign off here. What's that?
What did you say? So much fun talking with you about manifesting. I feel like we
this
for days. Right?
It's so exciting. It's an exciting topic, and there's so much to share around that topic. So I'm so glad we brought that in today, and I'm so glad everyone in the audience is sharing their stories too. So thank you, everyone. So Kelly, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I want to tell everyone thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next Wednesday on our next program. All right. Have a beautiful afternoon, and call in for readings, or I know you can always send questions through questions@seeingbeyondradio.com. And go ahead.
Yes. Oh, I didn't get to open that today because of my computer. So I didn't even check the email. So I apologize if you did email. We'll have to touch on it on our next show.
Yeah, we'll do it on our next show. We'll answer some questions on our next show.
Yes. Oops. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? Where'd he go? There we go. Oops, I did it again. I shouldn't hit anything on my computer. My computer has a mind of its own today. So, well, it's next week. You're not going to be here, right?
No, actually, I won't be here next week. Yeah.
We're recording a show. So next week will not be live. We're actually going to record an interview, and we're interviewing
Kim Copeland.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kim Copeland.
Yes.
Who is a beautiful medium in her own right, and she shares many stories about her career, or her many years serving as a hospice caregiver, and how she has seen the spirit world, and how really she has learned so much in that profession. So she is an amazing speaker, and we've had her before, and we get so many requests to have her back on, so we wanted to have her back on. So yeah, you'll be listening. Yeah, she's fascinating, and she's lovely to speak with, lovely to meet. She does readings in her own right. And yeah, it'll be fun to have her. So it'll be a recorded show next Wednesday, but the interview with Kim will be amazing. So you won't be able to call in next week, but the interview with Kim is going to be dynamite.
Yes. Well, thank you, Cheryl. And I'll see you in 2 weeks, Cheryl.
Okay. Love to you, everyone.
But in 2 weeks for this.
Right. All right. Everyone, have a great day.
So I know I have one person in here for reading. So if you want a reading, come on in. The link's in here. I think we need to post the link in on YouTube because more people are on YouTube. So I don't know if Todd, if you could do that, or if Brianna could do that. But that would be helpful. And here, I'll post the up here. So you guys, that's for my free talk tonight. If anybody wants to join me, that's the link. And then the link to join on StreamYard is right. Oops, where'd it go? Right here. There we go. If you guys want to come on back here, and I'm going to bring you on, Kit. So, hi, Kit. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Love the
Oh,
picture. You look fantastic. Just kidding.
oh, thank you. Well, hopefully within a week, my camera will be working. So
yeah, no, stuff happens. I'm having all kinds of technical issues, so no worries. My computer's on the fritz right now. I'm amazed I'm on. So, anyways, how can I help you? What kind of reading did you want? Psychic, mediumship? How did you want to do it?
Does a psychic reading, can I ask a question about my past?
Yes. One question about your past?
Yes.
Sure, let's go for it.
Okay. So I'm curious, what was it about me as a kid that everyone loved to hate? I tried really hard to be nice to everyone, and somehow I just attracted all the bullies.
So, well, I don't feel like you do that anymore. First of all, I have to say right off the bat. And I think that it wasn't anything about you. So I have this sneaky feeling when I tune into your energy, you were a very highly gifted child. Intellectually, you were very smart. Is that correct? You might have
Yes.
been in the gifted classes, right?
Yes.
So typically when you're in the gifted classes, because I was in all those too, the other kids, you don't always relate with them. And so when you don't relate with people as children, if they're just sometimes they're mean, because they don't understand and they don't know how else to react to you, and because nobody's teaching them the right way at home or things like that. And I think that you were also highly sensitive and may have even taken some things out of context because of your sensitivity. Do you understand this? Because you're a strong empath. Yes?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yes. So I think that, a nice thing to do might be, you might want to try to focus more on the things in your childhood that were positive and that were loving and that were fun and that were good, and understand that the rest of it was just part of your journey, really, to create the amazing soul that you are now, right? And teach you all the lessons you needed to know so that you could be who you are and help the people that you help now. Because I have this feeling that you're in a career or you do something in your life now where you help others. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes, I do.
And there's a reason that we have to go through things. Sometimes it's our soul's journey. It's part of our soul's path. It doesn't always have to be painful, but it can be. And I noticed that a lot of empathic souls, their childhood can be very difficult.
Okay. My mom was very abusive, so it was a bit much being bullied all day at school and then coming home and the bullying continued.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just kind of wondering, what's wrong with me? Why are people like this?
When you're when you're so like I have 3 gifted children, and I was also, my brothers and I were always identified as gifted in our classes, and we were put in like the honor classes and things like that when we were little. But it really attracted the bullies. And so I always would pretend to be dumb to get out of them. Because I wanted to fit in. And my older son did the same thing. My younger son, nobody liked him when he was little. Kids were mean to him. Parents were mean to him because he was so gifted and so smart, and he knew about things that they didn't understand. And so I think people get annoyed with that. They don't understand, so they want to get annoyed. It makes them feel like they're not as smart or something. I don't know how to explain it, why they do it, but they do it. And I'm sorry. I went through that too. I was bullied all through school. It's kind of probably why I never finished high school. I left at 16. So, but I did get my proficiency exam and I went to college, but I didn't get to have that high school experience because I just didn't fit in. So that happens. Yeah. But I love who I am. And I look back at those disadvantages. I look at those traumatic times, and I look at all the beautiful lessons that I have learned through that and how I'm able to take those and help other people. So remember those things. I had a very crazy childhood too, but I like to focus on the fun times and the things I learned from having that freedom too. We weren't very supervised very well. And so we were on our own a lot doing insane things as children. Like I couldn't imagine my kids doing some of the things I did. But in the same right, I learned so much about life from them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So know that. But I'm going to leave you with that. And I'm going to bring on the next person. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's really helpful.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
So Frank, I see you're trying to get on. I see you 4 times that you're connected. And when it says device is not connected, that happened to me earlier. I had to go into the settings and I had to make sure that my mic and my the mic and the oh my gosh, what's the word? The sound, whatever it is, were working, and they did. Once I tested them, then everything connected. So maybe try that. But I think we need to disconnect some of your things. So I'm going to kick 3 of these out of the studio because it'll open up space for other people trying to get in. Okay? So let me just do that. I'm just kicking out the ones that were first connected, not your last connection. So this one, you just need to try to connect. And Meg, I'm going to bring you up. Hi, Meg.
Hi, how are you?
So cozy. Is that a blanket or a jacket?
Oh, it's a jacket.
It looks really cozy.
It is.
How can I help you today?
I would love to get your kind of feel on the surrounding love energies in my life right now. I feel like there's been a lot of good movement in the dating front, but I'm also sort of approaching it in a new way and sort of having an out-of-body experience just to make sure I'm calling in the highest aligned man for me.
Yay. Well, I love that. And let me just tell you, I manifested my husband now, and I wrote down everything I wanted in a relationship on a piece of paper. And actually, he was my best friend at the time. He was also my boss, and we worked together, and I wasn't thinking of him at all. Like, he was the last person on my mind for, like, my soulmate. But we sat at dinner, and we were both making our list because him and I both do that anyways for everything. We work together, and we're always making lists of, like, what we're trying to create. And I was like, hey, your list looks just like mine. We actually wanted a lot of the same things, but it took us another year before we actually got together after that. And so I feel like with you, you're really good at manifesting yourself. And I think that it's good that you're going about things in a different way because in the past, you're a people pleaser and you accept too much. So I think it's really important for you to focus on boundaries and also envisioning like that soulmate that you want. And I do feel like you have met more than one guy. I feel like you're kind of dating 2, maybe even 3 that you're going out with right now that are more just friends and you're seeing where it goes. Do you understand this?
Yeah, yes.
So, and I think that they're great guys and that you've manifested already or created this opening in the universe for these like great people to come into your life. So no matter what, you're going to have some fantastic friends out of this. Like I feel like one of them, at least lifelong friends and maybe even soulmates. So I want to say, don't give up on it. I do feel good things coming and good relationship coming out of this. Is there somebody with an S name? Like Steven or what are other S names? Since I'm just gonna say S because I'm hearing S.
Oh, there's not. Maybe one of them's daughter has an S name
Mhm.
though.
That's okay. I'm just gonna give you the S name because I feel like there's a connection.
Okay.
S name, and then why don't you give me the first name of them and I'll tune in to each one and tell you what I think.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my forte.
Okay. The first one is Brian.
Brian or YAN?
IAN.
Okay. And then the second one?
The second one is CJ.
It's my nephew's initials. And then the third one?
Just those 2.
Oh, okay. Brian feels like he can take things very seriously, sometimes very intelligent, very smart, analytical kind of mind. He's great. He's funny, but he doesn't always get the jokes sometimes because he can be really, I don't want to say uptight, but conservative sometimes. But he does relax. Give him a beer or whatever, he'll relax, right? But he kind of comes, I feel like when he's just coming out of work mode, he's stuck in that kind of like real analytical, big picture kind of thing. And it's like hard to like wind down because he seems like somebody who has a hard time sleeping at night because his mind never stops.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like he needs to exercise a lot too, because if he doesn't exercise enough, he can never sleep. That's what I feel like. He really has a lot of energy, and that's good for you. I feel like the two of you kind of feed off of each other and motivate each other in a good way. So I do like him. I think you're good for him, and I think he could be good for you too. CJ feels more of a free spirit,
Yeah.
more laid back, down to earth, very, I want to say, open to whatever and just, you know, not afraid of things or change. And I love that because I feel like that's you as well, that you have this ability to adapt to new environments or things like that. And I do think that together you and CJ could really do a lot. But I also think on the same right, CJ and you have a tendency, if you were to be together long term, to also bring each other down, because I think that both of you have the side where like you're very motivated, but then you can also have a side where you're like tired or unmotivated, and you can both kind of feed that off of each other. And so it could go awry, but I don't think it would because you both are pretty positive. But that's one thing I see long term, CJ. I don't know if he's aware of it or if it's never happened, but I do feel like he might suffer from like seasonal depression or things like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's you, I'm not sure, but together it feels like you feed off of each other with that, if it happened.
Okay.
Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, it does. It does make a lot of sense.
Is Brian an entrepreneur? Does he have his own business?
No, he's an engineer.
Okay. Because I feel like he could have his own business. He has that kind of mindset and he's motivated like that. Whereas CJ feels more like he's somebody that is a free spirit, like music and or things like that, like whatever's drawing his attention. And he's more of, I want to say, a helper. Like he could be, you know, somebody that counsels other people, things like that. He's a good listener. Because he's calm. He diffuses situations. Like he should be a therapist, is what I feel like.
He's a Libra, so yes. He's
so am I. Us Libras, we can kind of, you know, manage to get along and balance anything out, right? So I like both of them.
Okay.
I do, but I feel like if you're wanting that motivation and if you're wanting that push in life to really attain all that you've wanted, I feel like you and Brian feed each other that. If you're wanting fun and excitement and you're not worried about materialistic things, then I feel like CJ is good for that. And it doesn't mean you guys won't be rich or whatever, or you won't have money. It just means like you guys aren't going to focus on it. You're going to focus on really living in the moment. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Both really great guys. So I feel like keep manifesting. Who knows who's out there?
Yeah. Just hopefully in the next while.
Yeah. If you're worried about, you don't have children now, right?
No, but I want.
You are going to be a mom. Okay. Yeah, you are going to have at least 2 children. Okay. So that doesn't mean that you give birth to both of those. It could be that you're a stepmom to one and you have your own, but you are going to have a child at least. Okay. But you're going to be mom to 2 or more is what I hear. Okay. And your child that you actually give birth to, I feel like will be a little girl.
Oh right? My gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So let me know when that happens, but I feel like it all happens within the next 2 years.
Okay. Wow.
Email me. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kelly. You're the best.
Thank you. I'm going to put you back in the audience or in the back. If you, yeah, I'm going to put you in the back. How do I do that? Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, thank you guys. Oh, I lost Frank. You were on, Frank. I saw your picture. What happened? Oh, there you are. Okay, are you? Let's see. Can you hear me, Frank? Yay, we got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, there's a little clicky sound, but I think we can get through this. How are you? You ready for a reading?
Yes, a psychic reading.
Okay, and do you have a question or an area you want me to focus on?
Yes, and the reason why I bring this up is that my wife has supposedly had a reading and they said that I'm going to die soon. And I'm like, I need some confirmation on this. It's like, what the hell?
That's like unethical, in my opinion, to tell somebody that, because I don't think it's our, I don't think that we're supposed to know those things, nor are we supposed to give them in a reading if we feel it. And it also could be that that person interpreted something wrong. So I don't feel that you're dying soon. If you were dying soon, I wasn't going to tell you, but I'll definitely tell you I don't feel it. I don't see it. I actually feel like you live quite a while. I feel like you guys live, both you and your wife, late 80s, early 90s. And I also feel like longevity runs in your family, you know? So I feel like you've had grandparents that lived quite old. They were like late 80s, early 90s. Is that right?
So my grandparents have all expired when they're in their late 70s. But I have aunt and uncle that are in their 90s. I have a great aunt that lived into their hundreds. So on my grandfather's side, I have several out of the 80s that lived into their hundreds. So, you know, in my mind, I'm going to get there too.
Yeah, no, you are. The only thing I would say for you is just focus on moving more. So I don't know if you have a job where you're more like you're not as physical. I think you're retired, right? So I feel like focus on those, daily walks, things like that, because that's for you. I feel like the key to living long. Keeping that blood flowing and that circulation.
Okay.
Because I do feel like you guys lived to 80s, late 80s, early 90s. I feel like both you and your wife. And here's the thing, you guys have been married forever, you and your wife. Is that right? Like a long time, am I
right? 14 years.
Okay. I feel like you'll be married all the way to the end. And I just think like you guys actually pass fairly close to each other within fairly close time frame. Okay.
Oh, sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Don't listen to that. Anybody who gives you negative information is not, I feel, in my opinion, that is not a healthy reading. A reading should be uplifting. It should be something that helps people, make decisions in their life, guide them in a good way. It should be beneficial to all, both spirit and to the soul, right? So tell her to steer clear of that type of reader.
Ma'am. All right. That's what I need.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna put you back. Anybody else want a reading? I know that Jane had said she wanted a reading. Oops, wrong one. I think it was Jane. Yeah, Jane Austen said she had wanted a reading. Again, I hit the, what am I doing? Why did she? I swear I saw her saying she wanted a reading somewhere. Now I've lost it. There it is. I would like a reading. So Jane, if you need the link, here it is. It's somewhere in Facebook. Just look for the comments and copy that link and come on to the back end here and I can pull you up for a reading. And if anybody, let's see. If you guys just have a quick psychic question, you can put it in the comments here as well, okay? Okay, I'm going to put up here what Ariel posted. She put, I asked my spirit guides to protect me in my dreams last night because the past few nights have been very vivid and dark. I woke up feeling much better, much more rested. Never knew I could manifest that. Let me tell you about dreams, Ariel. I am a huge dreamer. All my life, I've had really vivid dreams, and I typically would see spirit that pass, and they would even show me how they passed. As a child, I got a lot of murder victims, pretty gory stuff to see as a child. It was upsetting. Anyways, when I started developing, it was mainly because of my youngest son. He was the same way as me. He had these vivid dreams, and they weren't always good, like easy dreams for him to understand or process as a child. So I wanted to understand my gifts so I could help him and so on. And when I realized that I was in charge of my dreams, I was in charge of manifesting, my, like, managing my energy, basically. I decided, this is no longer going to happen. Now I tell Spirit, you can only come when I invite you. And in the beginning, I used to say to my protector guide, come stand guard and kick anybody out who tries to bother me in my dreams. And then I would say, I'm only going to have beautiful dreams. And I taught my son, if you have a scary dream, go to the rainbow. We'll meet on the rainbow and with the unicorns. And I know there was a lot of dreams where I met my son on the rainbow with the unicorns because he was very in tune with me when he was little. So it does work. We are in charge. I do sleep much better. Of course, now I'm in, menopause and everything changes with your sleep pattern, but I still sleep and that's all that matters. So I love that you shared that. Thank you. Do you see me moving? Barbara says, and if so, where? I do see you moving, Barbara, and I feel like somewhere with beautiful sunsets and I see mountains, but it could be somewhere like, yeah, I see you moving. I'm just going to leave it at that. So let me know. I do feel like it's a good move. It's a positive move. And I feel like, you might be fearful at first, but I do feel like it's the right way. Okay. Somebody's asking me for the link. There's the link. It's in Facebook, but it's also in YouTube. You might have to scroll through the comments up a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Oh, my free talk. Sorry. Here, I'm going to put this up on the screen. I'm not always the greatest at reading these comments because I have a tracking issue with my vision, but here we go. Oh, no, that's not it. Brianna, if you could post my free talk again so I could share it, that would be great. I can't find it oh, there it is. Found it. There's the free talk. It's freetalk.eventbrite.com. I'll be talking about my upcoming classes, doing some readings, and answering any questions anyone has, and it's in Zoom. Okay, so I would love to see you there. Thank you, Brianna. There it is again. That's the link. And then Jean Marie, if you want a psychic reading, come on in to the back end here. There's a link right here. If you scroll up to join us, and I can bring you on the screen and do a reading. But come quick because we're about to end soon. Okay. So that would be best if you want a reading. Join me back here, okay? And just scroll up to the link. It looks like that. Thank you. And let's see. I think that's it. So if she's going to come on, I'll wait a couple minutes here. But we are about done today. So I'm just going to remind everybody, I have a free talk at 6 o'clock in about 45 minutes. It's in Zoom. You just have to go register. If you do sign up for it, you'll go to Eventbrite, sign up for it, and then there'll be a link for you to register in Zoom for the event. So you just register all the information. It's just real easy. It's really to prevent hackers from coming in. And then when you join us, you'll get a link once you register. And then when you join on Zoom, you just need to make sure that you log into your own Zoom account first. That way it secures that we know who you are and you're coming into there. Because there is a lot of, hackers that come in and they do horrible things on Zoom when you just give out the link. So it's only really just to provide a safe environment for us all. Yeah. So I don't see that Jane's able to get back here. So Jane, maybe you can come to my Zoom and I'll see you in a little while. And everybody else, thank you. I will see you guys in we're going to have a recorded show next week, and then I'll see you the week after. All right. Have a wonderful night, guys. And hopefully I see some of you guys later on Zoom. Bye.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.